Greetings, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day to each and every Inquisitor out there. That hyperdrive bundle for $50 is tempting. Keeps coming up on my screen, and every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I want to click that. I want to click it. I want to click it so bad. Oh, man. It's a lot of free stuff. All right, first things first, if anybody's not aware, doing some giveaways for May the 4th over on Discord. So anybody who might be watching this who didn't get the message, you want to jump on over there to Discord and go to the giveaways channel and hit that little party horn to sign up to be part of the drawing. Drawing will go off about an hour from now. It'll pick 4 people. I'll give them $10 each, or if they're actually in the rites of passage with their name as Inquisitor, then we will give them a $25 gift. So if you're an Inquisitor or not, jump on over into Discord, sign up for that giveaway, and see if you can get yourself some free loot. Seems like fun giving some stuff away for May the 4th. Francisco Fernandez Bravo says, hello, DL. Well, hello. Beskar Bandito is here. David Dutro. Jam Jam says hello. Apologies. Andre Posadi is here. David Baker says Conquest is stupid. Yeah, Conquest is pretty dumb. Yeah, it's I think what people have to understand with Conquest, you've got 2 choices. You can either work for it, do a bunch of refreshes and go for the top box and like stress out over the game mode and try to complete it. I mean, you can do that if you want to. The other thing you can do is just, get what you can. And on my main account, for sure, I go in expecting to get the red box. I work at it, plan it out, figure out different teams to use. On the Loquitur account, I just play. However far I get, that's how far I get. I get gold box most times. I think I missed the gold box a couple times now. But I'm not spending a ton on refreshes. I'm not going crazy with it in normal mode. I'm just playing. Get what I get. That keeps me from going crazy and thinking about how challenging it is to get Conquest maxed out on normal. It's a lot of refreshes, so no matter what, if you want to get red box on normal, you just have to spend a lot of gems on refreshes. So I don't want to do that. So I get what I can get for, maybe 1 or 2 refreshes throughout the course of the Conquest, but not much. Just get what I can. How about that new Inquisitor profile pick and in-game title? Haha, getting the respect we deserve. I think I actually changed my title on Darth Loquitur to, yeah, I don't think I want to bring this up, do I? Yeah, okay. Here, yeah, ally code, okay. So yeah, Order of Inquisitors, I put that up. What's the new pick? I hit the download and then, the Inquisitor symbol. Yeah, interesting. Not a big fan of that symbol, but yeah, I put up the Order of Inquisitors there in my title. Figured it was okay. I'll focus on getting the gold box so I don't get too tired of this game. That's exactly it, Fernando. Francisco, yeah, just chill out. I've not been playing the Conquest for months, but I want Darth Malgus so bad. Yeah, well, that's how they get you, right? They put a good character in there and they hook you into wanting to get it, and then hope that you'll pay for it. So, hey, Beskar Bandito coming in with a super chat. Happy Star Wars Day, DL and Inquisitors. Thank you for everything you've done for the community and for always keeping a level mindset. Thank you, Beskar Bandito. Appreciate that super chat. Happy Star Wars Day to you as well. Fantastic. Graham Case says, our portrait and title are the same DL. I love the holocron. Yeah, the holocron is cool. I like the holocron. I think it will be pretty hard to get Darth Loquitur to change from that holocron. Yeah, it suits the theme, so we'll stick with it. CG will be at the Star Wars celebration. Are you going? Am I going? No, I'm chilling here at the house. Don't think I'll be at any Star Wars celebrations as such. I suppose all you have probably seen the news, the leaked news on the Datacrons, huh? I'd be interested to know what your guys' initial opinion of the Datacrons is. And I'll share with you, my initial thoughts. Francisco says, I'll never spend a single dime on this or any game. Been free to play on this game ever since I started playing in 2017, and it's not going to change now. Hey, that's know yourself. If you want to play free to play, and you accept that pace of progress, then it won't drive you crazy. I think people get caught up in the idea of trying to catch up with the players at the top of the game, and they think like, spending money or doing things in a certain way should catch them up. And if you didn't start early in this game, getting caught up, pretty unreasonable. I reserve the right to form an opinion on the Datacrons until they come out and see what they actually mean for the game. Ash says, love it. I had nothing to throw away my hard-earned money now, and every 3 months I can keep throwing it away. Francisco says, not too sure about the leak. We'll have to wait and see. Biggest problem is Datacrons costing actual resources and then losing them over time. Waiting to hear more, says David Dutro. No sense getting upset over nothing. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, right? If you look back over the history of changes, every time they make a change, it's the same thing, and people get upset, and everybody declares that it's the end of the game, and how awful it is, and how monetizing it is, and the idea of the Datacron is definitely a monetization strategy, and it's definitely a for-profit company and a for-profit game. So we should expect them to want to monetize things, and then we just have to rise above it. And just like Francisco said, if you're free to play, you just play free to play, and you say, okay, well, it is what it is, and this is what I get. And if you're pay to play and you don't want to spend any more money, then don't. It's up to us not to get trapped in that. But the idea that the Datacrons get better with the relic levels of the characters or teams where it applies, that's the monetization strategy. And it may be subtle and people may not realize that, but if you have, let's say you have a decent Rebel team, and you've got your CLS at Relic 3 and the rest of the team at, let's say everybody's at Relic 3 and maybe Relic 5, whatever you want to say. I think from looking at it, the way it works is the next level unlocks when all the characters on your team are Relic 6. So if they can put some really good effects in at Relic 6 or Relic 7, then suddenly, you're going to try to Relic 7 your whole team. And if you do, you'll have that bonus for 3 months. And, if the Datacrons are as good as they look on paper, you might want that team to be all Relic 7 for that 3-month cycle. Might be a really big deal. So that's the subtle way that they're monetizing this. Like the real motivation, like the real thing. People keep talking about the refreshes and resets. I don't think that's the issue. I think if people get, horrible set on there and they want to re-roll the holocron or the Datacron, you'll re-roll it 3, 4, 5 times till you get a set that you like. And I don't think that's too big of a deal. I don't think that's the pay-to-play part of it. I think that gating certain abilities behind relic levels is really what they're going to use to monetize the Datacron idea. And my advice to everybody is just play your game. If a Datacron is so worth it that it's good to take the whole squad to Relic 6, well then do it. Make an adult decision and decide if you want to do that for 3 months. Once the Datacron goes away, it's not like your relic levels on your character go away. If you're going to say, well, I regret putting them at Relic 6, well then don't do it in the first place. And for 3 months, you're behind other people who have Relic 7 versions of those characters or whatever. It's another layer to the game. And I heard some chatter today about how it's going to affect Kyber 1 and how, players that are already at the top, are going to push out everybody who's not at the top. I got news for you. Datacrons aren't going to make the difference in Kyber 1. The free-to-play players who are smart and clever, they're going to have their Datacrons and they're going to do just fine. The players that, let's say, are pay-to-play, they're still low on Zetas and potentially low on mods. And, players who have been playing the whole game for longer have an advantage over the accounts that are artificially inflated. And I don't think the Datacrons change much at all. Because if you're saying, well, he's got Relic 9s and I only have Relic 7s. Okay. That was the case anyway before Datacrons. He had Relic 9s and you had Relic 7s. I don't know what difference the Datacrons are going to make in GAC. So I think it's just like relic levels, it's a net neutral leveling thing. Once everybody has it, everybody has it. I don't see that there's going to be that much of a differentiation. But again, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so on my main account, we'll, try to min-max it. On the Loquitur account, it's going to be more like we'll get whatever we roll and go with it. So, I don't know. I think it's an interesting way. It's flavor of the month, right? It's there's a lot of card games that have seasons or cycles where, certain things happen. So it's not a new idea. Basically, what they're introducing is month-long seasons. And then it'll just rotate on a big clock, every month something falls off, something comes back on. Empire are good for a little while, then Night Sisters will be good for a little while, then Ewoks will be all the craze, and people start relicking their Ewoks to take advantage of that for 3 months, and, whatever. I'll miss the Ewok cycle. I don't think I'm going to relic any Ewoks. Anybody holding their breath waiting for me to relic Ewoks is probably going to pass away before that happens. Unless there's some pretty significant changes to Ewoks. So that's how I think about it. You just got to keep your head on straight. Do what you would normally do anyway. Take advantage of what's there for you. And just, play the cycles. Biscuit says, hey. Ash says, more seriously, they want whales to always have something to spend money on. It gives them power and doesn't force CG to keep shoving new content out for the money to keep coming in. You say that, Ash, but how much more new content do you want? I mean, we've had the Inquisitorious characters. We've had Razor Crest coming to the game free to play. We've got Cat coming to the game free to play soon. We've got Conquest characters coming into the game. We had Starkiller. When I look at the amount of new content that they're putting out, I don't want new content to come faster. I don't want it. I mean, I don't want more stuff. It would be this endless landslide of stuff that I can't keep up with, right? I don't want that. I think they've got a good pace with feeding us, feeding us new characters, feeding us occasionally a new thing. somebody said, oh my God, Relic 10 is coming, because there was some wording in there that said Relic 9 or higher. I said 6 months ago Relic 10 is coming. If you look at a timeline from now until forever, there's going to be Relic 10. There's going to be Gear 14. It's all coming. Someday, the game is going to continue to escalate, and it's exactly what Ash said. There's always going to be new things that they're putting in the game for people to keep spending money and developing the end game, and the end game has to keep moving for that to keep happening. So yeah, of course there's going to be Relic 10, Relic 11, Gear 14, the next version of Omicron, right? We've got Omegas, then Zetas, then Omicrons, and then something else will come out. Maybe 2 years from now, who knows? But it should not be a surprise to anybody that they keep escalating the end game. It's only a matter of when, right? So if I was wording the game, I would always word it like that, because someday there's going to be a Relic 10, so Relic 9 or higher. Makes perfect sense, Anything higher than that, it's coming someday. Anyway, I get a kick out of it, because it's like, yeah, it's all going to escalate. Just keep escalating and keep escalating, because at the point where you can catch up and actually finish the game, then what do? What would you do? Honestly, guys, think about this. What would you do if you had every single character in the game at Relic 9? You'd go into Grand Arena, you'd stomp around beating people, and what would you do? You'd be like, I'm done. Now what? What do I work on? What's my project? I guess I just play this game. But I've got everything maxed. I think, for me, the account building is so much fun. If I was done, I'd quit. I'd be like, well, I finished. I'm done. Right? I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just get bored with having everything? So yeah, I mean, escalation, constantly moving the endpoint. That's how you make money. It'd take me 3 months just to get a team to full Relic 7. Yeah, and then the cycle's over, right? That's a good DL merch idea. Shirt says, play your game. Yeah, David Dutcher, that would be. I'd support that. Just play your game, right? Talk them off the ledge, DL. Could you imagine however long these Datacrons are supposed to last, the time period of Phoenix being a meta team? I've seen quite a few players with Relic Phoenix. And apparently Relic Phoenix with the Omicron on Hera is actually worthwhile. So, yeah, some of the people with nothing left to do are Relicing Phoenix. So, it sounds like a good cycle, right? Put the Phoenix in for a cycle. If they did Rebels, it would be fine. If they did specifically Phoenix, I don't know about that. I got the 5,000 crystal pack today on both accounts. I got Fifth Brother on my Inquisitor account. Nice. Fifth Brother seems like the best Inquisitor so far. I love the animation on his saber when he chucks it and it whirls around everybody. That is a wicked cool animation. So he's got good skills, and he's also got good animations. They'll probably line up with Conquest. Waiting on the Rose Tico cycle. Yeah. Well, the ones that they were showing in the examples, the leaked example was of Resistance. So it was the Resistance characters. So Rose is going first. A boost to the team highlighted in Conquest feats. It's RNG what Datacrons work, what teams the Datacrons work for. I don't think the team is random, right? So the impression I got is that they were trying to do cycles that would shift the meta. So I think that the team is the only thing that's fixed. So I feel like if it's a Resistance Datacron, or maybe they have like 3 sets of Datacrons, and you can either have, Resistance or Empire or whatever. You can pick one Datacron for that month. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all comes out, but I get the feeling like the Datacron is specifically for a team. It applies to a team. Graham Case, you're saying Conquest feats. So what do you think it's going to be like the Galactic Republic Conquest feat and all that stuff? Yeah, interesting. Already having a tough time keeping up with all the Inquisitors, and I'm almost 7 million. Yeah. They do need to provide spending options for whales, and this one is perpetual. Darth Treya says, what's a whale? If you're still listening, sweetheart, a whale is somebody that spends a lot of money on the game. The whales are the spenders. It's a gambling term, gambling whales. Oh, Emmy already answered it. Nice. Farm your mods. Fully agree. It's the thrill of the chase. Remember when JKR came to the game, everybody flipped out about power creep. Look at him now. Same thing will happen with Datacrons. That's funny because I joined the game long after Revan was in the game already. So I missed that whole cycle. I wasn't here to see him come around. But I do remember when, right about the time I started playing, November of 19, so about 2.5 years ago, Malik had just come out, and he was unbeatable, and everybody was complaining because, if you didn't have a Malik, you couldn't beat Malik, and the game was broken, and everybody was quitting because Malik was just, stupid broken, and only some people had him, and it was all, a big thing. And then, like you say, look at Malik now. Still a good character, still fantastic, does a lot of good things. But I don't see anybody building teams specifically to beat Malik, He's manageable. Next GL predictions. I'm predicting that they're going to wait until the Ahsoka show and they're going to do Ahsoka and Thrawn. That's my prediction on GLs. Can someone fill me in on the test environment leak? Supposedly somebody posted to Reddit a bunch of stuff about, a leak about stuff coming to the game. Datacrons, it's like a super mod for your team that gives like a bunch of lifesteal, defense. It gives, there was an ability in there that if you triggered that level on the Datacron, that you could have a resistance team where somebody dies and Rey instantly takes a turn with her cooldowns reset. So if it resets Whirlwind, then it's pretty awesome. But Whirlwind only activates on a certain condition. So if, for example, it resets her cooldowns, who cares? Her basic's never off a cooldown and Lifeblood's never off a cooldown anyway. So resetting her cooldowns does nothing. But on a character like Lord Vader or something like that, where they've got a big skill on a long cooldown, or Jedi Master Luke or something like that, that could potentially be ridiculous. As soon as you kill one character, they immediately take a turn with their cooldowns reset. It would change how these Galactic Legend teams play. It would make them harder to counter in some cases. So it's... Again, if you want to drive the game toward, GLs countering GLs, this is a way to do it because obviously the GLs are going to benefit the most from OP Datacrons. Are any of the May 4th deals top value? Well, let's pop open the shop and take a look at it, and we'll get to that in a second. I love the May 4th gifts, by the way. It's nice that they give us something. Makes it feel like Christmas. It's a nice gesture. Yeah, it's I like it too. I mean, I've heard people already saying that they weren't impressed and it wasn't enough, and it was a sad gift. And I looked at it as it's a bunch of stuff that I didn't have, and now I have it. So it's for free, right? It's like if somebody gives you a pizza, and you say, "Well, I wanted a large pizza, not a medium." Don't complain. It's a free pizza, right? I guess reading the name Pizza Crust in the chat got me thinking about pizza over here. Heretic says, if you can stomach going to Reddit. That's the way I feel, man. I can't even hardly look at Reddit. It's like a bunch of fifth graders throwing a temper tantrum over there. I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even read it. The JKR meta made me quit the game for about 2 years. It was super annoying and there weren't nearly the options we have now. Everyone ran him and Basti. Huh. That's the way it is with all new content, ungodly broken on release and then slowly introduce counters. Cody Lay's in the house. Hey, how you doing, man? Datacrons are temporary powers. I hate it already. Well, they last 3 months. It's like a super mod on a 3-month cycle. And they said that at the end of the 3 months, they're going to return some of the materials. So I don't know exactly how it is that we're supposed to build these things. But imagine it's like a relic, right? You get it, and then you have to invest. Let's just say it's exactly relic materials. And to get it to level 7, you have to literally treat it like a level 7 relic, and you have to level it up to level 7. Okay. I mean, honestly, guys, I can tell you, going from level 1 to 5 on relics for me, I feel like it's easy. Relic 5 is no problem. Going to relic 7, it'd have to be worth it. Going to relic 8 or 9, it would really, really, really have to be worth it to go to 8 or 9. But then they said at the end of the 3-month cycle, they're going to refund some of the materials. So imagine that you got back half. You took it to relic 7, and they gave you back half of what you invested. They bring out the new Datacrons on a new monthly cycle, and you got half of what you need to take it to relic 7, if that's what you did before. So I think it's something like that. I think, you have to sink materials into it. They'll give you a partial refund, but not a full refund. That's what I got out of it. So yeah, I think, and again, if it's an Ewok one, it's just going to sit idle in my inventory. If it's a Resistance one, I'd probably invest in it all the way to 7 for 3 months. That I've got so many Resistance teams that I like, I'm sure I could make good use of that for 3 months. On my main account, anyway. Will fleet be affected by Datacrons? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it changes the stats in a meaningful way where they would carry over to fleet. Of course, it hasn't been introduced yet. There's a lot of time between now and then. Anything could happen, right? Treya says people don't like change. People hate these kinds of changes because someone moved their cheese. So, there's an idea in the stock market, and you can look this up online, and it's this idea that all prices in the stock market are driven simply by fear or greed. And I heard another very intelligent, smart, capable guy who said it's all fear. There's no such thing as greed. Greed is simply the fear of being left out. It's the fear that somebody else is going to get ahead of you, the fear that you could have gotten something that you didn't get. So the idea of fear and greed is just fear and a different kind of fear. And that's what these changes are. And the fear is, look, there's 4 different kind of Datacrons to pick. I've got a couple days. I've got a short window. I've got to pick my Datacron. Okay. It looks like the Jedi Datacron is the best. I'm going to get the Jedi Datacron. And then 3 weeks later, it comes out that whoever invested in the Resistance Datacron is owning the game. And then you're like, oh my God, I picked the wrong one. How could I pick the wrong one? CG is so stupid. I hate them. I made the wrong decision. I picked the wrong Datacron. It's fear. It's fear that something like this is going to happen. But to me, I look at it and I go, okay, we've got Jedi, Sith Empire, and Ewoks. Well, I'm not going to pick Ewoks. I don't have Sith Empire. I guess it's Jedi. I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's not which Datacron is the best. It's which Datacron can I take advantage of for my account, for what I have. So for me, there's a lot less fear. If I pick the wrong thing, what do I care? Maybe I'm just a little bit at a disadvantage versus somebody that picked the right holocron, and 3 months later it doesn't matter. So, yeah, interesting. All these new abilities and upgrades would be great if there was a way to test them out and use them more often. So if for some ungodly reason you have full Relic 7 Phoenix, they might slap JMK out of existence for 3 months and then they'll be useless again. Pizza Crust, that's it. That is exactly what might happen. They might get so boosted that they can take out a Galactic Legend, and then when the Datacron expires, they'll be useless until their Datacron comes around again. That is exactly what might happen. Hey Darth, love your content, says Ryan Suku. I'm at 3.5 million and currently working on my first GL, which is C. I'm halfway through his prereqs. Would you recommend SLKR? I would not. I built C and SLKR back to back on my main account, and it was so much dark side. All of my big power was on dark side stuff, which, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I wanted to make a better light side contribution for my guild. In Conquest, you need light side wins and dark side wins, and the dark side GLs were winning everything, and the light side teams, I mean, I basically had a good Padme team, and so I didn't have enough light side stuff. Whenever people ask me, I always recommend if you build a dark side GL first, flip it and build a light side GL second. You can go from C right into JMK. That's what I did on the Loquitur account, and the journey's looked fantastic so far. Or Executor next or something else. Executor could be a big deal. You can go C into Executor, but then again, the next Galactic Legend I'd pick for light side. Okay. Let's see. I think this is an excellent point. Graham Case is saying to Darth Grizzly, I would Darth Glizzy? Glizzy. Interesting. I would love a sandbox to test things. I think all of us would love a sandbox kind of a thing. Especially a sandbox where you could test out Omicrons and stuff like that, because having an Omicron that works in territory wars, and honestly, a lot of the territory war Omicrons are best for defense. You never get to test out your own Omicrons. You just put them on defense. You fight other teams that have the Omicrons, so you get to see how they work when you're trying to beat them with your offensive teams. But, you know, I would like to play the teams and see if I can tune them and get them to work better. But obviously the Omicron only works in territory war, so you're just locked out. There's like no place to test it. Yeah, that's definitely a frustration that I think a lot of people have in the game. And they'll fix it someday. I feel like they'll fix it someday. But, I mean, if you look at League of Legends, for example, League of Legends, obviously, you know, you can play the game. You can play against the AI. You can play against players. You can do a lot of different stuff. But they also have a test mode where you can just go in and test stuff. You know, you don't actually have to be in a game testing stuff when there's other people, you know, trying to win, and you're over there trying some, you know, crazy thing that you think might work. They just have a test mode you can go into and mess around by yourself and quit whenever you want, and nobody's offended if it doesn't work. So, yeah, that's what they need in Swgoh. They definitely do need a test mode. You pick territory war, GAC, territory battle, you know, whatever it is, you pick that as what you're testing. That allows the Omicrons to work, and you can get busy trying things out. Yeah, I think, honestly, people want to test against other people, but I think it's at least good enough if you could pick a team off your own roster, put it up there, and then test your teams against your own teams. You know, you set your own defense, and then you play against it. All right, let's keep looking here. Strange how people love data disks in Conquest but call them Datacrons in GAC and people go nuts. Yeah, David, it's not that people are going nuts because they affect GAC. It's people are always worried that they're going to get left behind, that the people who are spending money on the game are going to get ahead, or that, you know, they'll pick the wrong Datacron and be out of the cycle for, 3 months. So I think that's what upsets people. They're just afraid that they're going to make the wrong choice, or that they don't have money to spend and other people do. And, oh my God, he spent $100 on his Datacron, he's going to beat me. And people will definitely use that as an excuse for losing GAC. I definitely would have won this round of GAC, but he spent money on his Datacron, so he beat me. There was nothing I could do. And I got news for you. If a guy's $7 million in Bronzium and he builds a Datacron, he's not going to win because of the Datacron. He's going to win because he has 7 million galactic power and he never plays GAC, and one day he decides to play, right? That's the problem that we have now in Grand Arena in the whole context of the middle. At the highest end, it's not like that, but certainly in Erodium on down, we're all faced with that. And, when you play against one of those guys, it doesn't matter. If he's got the money to spend on his Datacron, it didn't matter. You weren't going to win that matchup anyway. Look at y'all, I complain, and there's a lot to complain about, but I wouldn't still be here if I didn't enjoy the game overall. That's a very good point. Darth Treya says, lightsabers so far are kind of lame. That's okay. It's a chill stream. People get to it when they get to it. That's some good insight. I do agree about keeping some balance. I would love to do JMK. The main problem is the Wat shards, but that will come in time. Yeah, but if you've already got C, if you've been in the game long enough to get C, and you would have to go on the JMK journey and you're worried that you might not have your Wat, that's like a year and a half of play. You might need to check what kind of guild you're in, because you should definitely be able to 7-star Wat within a year and a half. That should not be an issue. Even at, 20 shards a month, you'd still have him in, 11 and 6, so 17 months. So even at a relatively low rate, it seems like it's definitely doable. I think not having a test mode keeps a secret and strategy to the game. Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, but the test mode could just be you testing against yourself. You don't have to share any of the secrets with anybody. I wonder if Datacrons might separate GAC better. Whales will play more whales, and non-spending will play other normal folks. I think Datacrons will be something that everybody can do. I think everybody will be able to do Datacrons. It's just what level you want to commit to building them up to, and how many times you want to reset to get exactly the perfect setup on the rerolls, So I think normal people will do just fine with Datacrons. I think it will be for everyone. It'll be fine. The first 4 sector bosses look manageable. Biscuit says, I wish they would do something about big accounts not playing. It's really bad for new players when they jump into GAC and they get wrecked by someone with 7 million GP. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely annoying to face those big accounts, and it's like, well, if he plays, I'm dead. If he doesn't, I can win. It's a weird way to play. Mag says, think Max Crate is out of grasp for you this cycle. Guildmates shared a strategy from Bit Dynasty that could still max without Inquisitors or Starkiller. Oh, cool. All right. Well, check that out then, guys. Take a look at Bit Dynasty stuff. If he's made a a video out of that. Yeah, I haven't calculated up the exact number of points that you need for red box and whether or not you can get that without Inquisitors. But there's a few of them that just having the Inquisitors is good enough, right? So those we should be able to do. Darth Trey is signing off. All right, see you later. We were annoying Darth Trey very severely earlier today. I don't know if she was very severely annoyed, but she was pretty annoyed. Me and my daughter were singing silly songs, and once it starts, it doesn't stop. And making up our own words and ruining Christmas songs in the middle of May, and so she wasn't happy with us. I wish they improved the normal mode crate. Exactly, normal mode. Normal mode is it's so unhelpful. It's like normal mode is pretty hard, and the rewards that you get are kind of really mediocre. All right, we were supposed to look at May the 4th packs. So let's get in here and look at some May the 4th packs. Each offer contains a chance to get varying amounts of all of this stuff. Okay. Of Chirotech, 45% chance for 25 each, 25, 35, 15, 55, 10% chance for 75, and 5% for 100. So do you just get 50 pieces each of core gear? Okay, so you get these pieces, and then these are the random part. So 50 to 250. It's like 2,800 worth there. 28. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of in-game value, right? Because these are like 1,400 each for a 50 pack. If I remember correctly. Let's refresh my memory. Yeah, 1,300 for 50 of them. So let's just generically say that each one of those packs represents, like, let's just say 2,500 for each pair. So 25, 5,000, and 12, 62, and then a random amount of these. That's about a double value. Even on the low roll, you'll get at least $50 worth of value out of this pack in terms of crystals. So you'll get like 7,000 crystals worth of stuff no matter what, with a chance to get maybe 2.5 times value. So this is a 2x, 2.5x based on crystal value. This one says 50 pieces each of the Chirotech salvage, and then a random on the rest. Okay. This one I feel like is a worse deal. This is a worse deal because you're only guaranteed the Kairos. Yeah. Yeah, this deal is about a 1.7, 1.6 with a chance to be up to 2.5, but not a good chance. So yeah, the one where you get this stuff for sure and the Kairos are random is a better deal in terms of spending. May the 4th character trove. These I think are, this is a roulette wheel, you know. If you were a new player and you didn't have any of these characters at all, and like anything that you buy is 330 shards, it's still pretty awful. I mean, let's see. So if you were to farm Mara Jade, single shard drop, let's say 50 crystals per shard, right? Because you could do a refresh for 50 and farm her. So it would take you about 8,000 crystals worth of refreshes if you thought of it just in terms of refreshes to get her to 330 shards, something like that. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, if you hit one of these single drop characters for 5,000, it's not a bad deal. But my luck, for sure, I'm going to hit the guys that I already have 330 shards of. So, yeah, I don't think I will ever be randoming for 5,000 shards. This Inquisitor calendar is a good deal. This is a very good deal. If you're into buying things, buy this calendar. The gear is okay, but the 25 shards of each, I mean, people pay $19 for these packs that contain 30 shards, you know, the 4th star on the character. So this represents 5 of those $20 packs. So this is, almost $100 worth of value in terms of brand new content shards. So if you think you're going after the Inquisitor, that calendar is a decent deal. Now remember, I mean, buying shards is by definition not high efficiency. Ship Trove, same thing. It's only 150. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, and you could very easily get, like, complete garbage. I mean, if you were just starting the game today, it wouldn't be bad to dump a couple. Yeah, that's 150, though. It's 150, so you get a ship at 5 stars. Yeah. It's pretty awful. Yeah, ugh. I'd rather spend 10,000 and get one ship at 330, you know? I'm not sure I would ever do the ship one at all. Alright, so the pack with the random Chirotechs is okay. The calendar for the Inquisitors is a pretty good deal. And the rest we can leave behind. My opinion. My thoughts. I got Iden from that pack, so I'm satisfied. Yeah, Iden's on with Vulture Droids, so that's not bad. 30 shards may seem interesting for a brand new player, but imagine if you get, I don't know, Cup, for example. But they limited the pull, right? It's not every character. In the past, they've had these pulls where it's every character, but now it's just these characters. It's just what shows up. So it's like, let's say, a little over a year's worth of content. Because these guys have been out for a year, right? This half has been out for a year. This half is newer stuff. So you got about a 50-50 chance of getting stuff that isn't even on double drop yet. But it's just these characters. So I mean, like, the worst that you can get a Queel. You already got a Queel maybe, and you can get a Queel. But I mean, even if you hit Armorer, Bo-Katan, IG, all of this stuff is used for something. None of these characters are bad. So, I mean, you could get Omega. Maybe you don't have Bad Batch and you hit Omega. He'd be pretty disappointed in that. That's probably the worst pull, if you get Omega and don't need her. But yeah, the characters on the list are good. It's just for developed accounts, the idea that you're going to hit something you've already got and end up with 330 shards in the shard shop is pretty unappealing. If you could choose it, I'd buy it. I think everybody would. They'd pick the character they want. There'd be a lot of Mara Jades flying into the game. I don't like the 5K pack, says Biscuit. Lots of those characters. only function in a full team, like a 7-point hunter, and you don't have the rest of the Bad Batch. If the Inquisitor calendar was 100 shards of one Inquisitor, and there were 5 calendars to choose from, then I'd grab the second sister for sure. Second sister is the one with the ship, right? I don't remember my Inquisitor characters. Isn't second sister like pretty awful? Let me take a look at this. Refresh myself on my Inquisitorius. Yeah, second sister's the one with the ship. There was one of these that I remember. Maybe it's the 8th brother. No, because Bladed Hilt is good, right? Bladed Hilt. Deal physical damage and consume the purge. Yeah, it's everything up to armor shred. So he's okay. I feel like the second sister might be the one that I thought was like a real dud in the event. Yeah, maybe somebody with more Inquisitor experience can tell me, but the 9th sister's good. The 5th brother's carrying the team so far. 7th sister has recovery, right? Yeah, recovers health and protection for each stack consumed. Critical hit, they recover. So she's kind of the healer of the team. So those 3 are good. We know those 3 are good there. And I feel like second sister wouldn't be the one we would want. What are your thoughts on slicing Matt's calendars? They're okay. They're an okay deal. I like to get the calendars because it's a steady flow of stuff throughout the month. So I think I bought the Relic materials calendar, slicing materials calendar on my main account. But yeah, it's not that great of a deal. It's okay. Hey DL, just finished work, having breakfast, and listening to your stream. She's pretty much the worst of the bad the faction, but the ship is great. So, yeah, that's the feeling I got from her. The packs with gear have an expected value 4075 pieces each. So 50 pieces plus 4075 is expected in the long term. Second sister can go under Krennic lead on the back wall. Relegated to the back wall. Put her in the ship and that's good enough. I bought the 5,000 crystal pack and got the 8th brother on my main. Nice. That's pretty cool. Got the 8th bro. Yeah, this thing hits pretty hard, I think. I feel like this bladed hilt is a pretty good skill. Execute skill once you got the purge stacks stacked up. 5th brother is I liked him. I liked him in the event. I liked the which is this? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. Throws his lightsaber. Cool. Wicked cool. Are the crystal deals any good? Well, I think buying crystals is fundamentally what you do in the game, because if you buy crystals, you can always use them for refreshes, and that's like the efficient thing to do. So yeah, 25% more crystals. So 35, 7, 14, 17, 5. So if you bought this for 15.7, this equates to 17.5. So even though $2,800 for $20 isn't as good of a deal as buying the $100 pack. When it's 25% more, it's better. So both of these are good. I mean, if you're buying crystals anyway, buy the 25% more crystals for sure. Yep. I like his model even less than the Ninth Sisters stretched JPEG. Vels says hello. Well, hello, Vels. I promised to talk about 3v3 a little bit. Is anybody interested in 3v3 stuff? I had to do a lot of stuff on my main account for 3v3s. And I can kind of show you guys what I came up with. Trying to stretch everything out as far as I can. So what I did, I made a 3v3 squad for offense and one for defense. I started filling them in, and the problem I run into is duplicating the same character. So for me, it's like super awkward. So I ended up just trying to go through and put my defensive teams together on unique only, and then use them to set my defenses, and tried to get that set up. And then I'll work on my offenses later. So for defenses in 3v3, pretty much, I mean, conceptually, I want to do what I've been doing and place defenses that are going to be hard for my opponent to beat and try to stall them out, spread them thin, and try to win on efficiency. I tried going with a very offensive strategy, and it failed me, and I lost more games that way. So I feel like I have to go back to a more defensive strategy. Stick with what's working. I think this Rey team, we'll have to see. But if I put Commander Ahsoka Tano in there and Vandor Chewie, they've got to kill Vandor first. If they kill Ahsoka first, Vandor just brings her back. So Vandor is just there to buy some time. With his skills and ability, and Cat and Rey protecting him, he's got a lot of hit points. So his base is, let's say, 70,000 the way I've got him set up. I've got a bunch of defense on him, you guys can see. We've got tons of defense on this guy. Health, I did put crit damage on that, and defense stat here, health over here. But we're trying to ramp up his health. He has this unique where he has 40% less protection, 80% max health. So he goes from 70 to, gets another 56 on top of that, which is, like what, 130,000 health. And then Cat's giving him another 50% on top of that. So then he goes up to about 200,000 health with a ton of armor on top of it. So the reason why in this comp I put armor on top of it, Rey gives him lifeblood. And remember, the armor is reducing the damage. So Rey is giving him lifeblood, and then the damage reduction from his high armor makes that lifeblood last even longer. So he's just a challenge to get through. So that's the idea. Make Vandor a problem, and then Ahsoka. And then, just last long enough for Rey to get to her ult and start killing people. When there's only 3 characters, her ult divides damage among all the other opposing characters. She deals true damage to the enemy team split among all of them. When there's only 3, and she's set up with a pretty good offense, 11,000 offense, and Cat is increasing her offense by 50%. That's a hard hitting Rey, right? So that's the idea behind my Rey team. I don't know, what do you guys use? Does anybody out there have Rey? Tell me what you use. Did Abticio get promoted? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in Bronzium 3 now with Obtesio. I think I shot up the Bronzium 3. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. Bronzium 3 on the Obtesio account. So we jumped right up there. He's a chunky chewy. Okay, and then Lord Vader. I got the alt on my Vader on my main account. We're still working on relic levels on these characters. I'm going to try to take him to 9. Might take Royal Guard to 9. I might take Maul to 8, something like that. I don't exactly, I'm still struggling a bit with the mechanics on this team. So Lord Vader himself has pretty good healing. He can recover. Royal Guard takes damage and then recovers. Maul takes damage and just continues to die, right? So, like, he's not Sith, he's not Empire. There's something about this kit where we're not getting the health steal on Maul, and so he's kind of a weak link. I don't know if I'll keep the team like this or if I'll try to do something like Vader and 2 tanks. I might go with, like, Vader and crew and the Royal Guard and really just make this a timeout team. But we'll start with Maul in there, see how we like it, and then change it. I may put the clones on defense, Rex 5s and Echo. It's a high synergy team. It's not that hard to beat, but I think it's better for me, I think, on defense. It's kind of a low banner win on offense. You can win, but there's not really any protection recovery to get back banners. So for some teams like that, I feel like they're just better off on defense. We got the Mando with Queel and IG. Mando is so bad. Look at my Mando. This is pathetic. You guys are going to laugh. Check out my mods. Woo! Those are some good mods, right? So I'm experimenting with the Razor Crest, and I want the Razor Crest to run at 182 speed. And in order to get this thing down to 182 speed, I've had to nerf the mods to death on Mando. And yeah, I got some 1 and 2 and 3 dot mods on him, trying to get a set bonus. But yeah, his speed is completely garbage, around 147 speed. So that team's completely useless unless I remod Mando. But yeah, I'm playing around with the ship speeds for the fleet right now. 5's lead has protection recovery. 5's lead is pretty bad though, right? Counter chance, defense. Okay. So I don't even have his leadership developed. 501st allies gain protection over time when they're critically hit. I don't know about that. That's pretty awful. 5%. Protection over time, 5% for 2 turns when they're critically hit. I don't think that's worth the lead. Is it? I mean, Rex lead is good. 20% max health, doubled for clone troopers. Whenever an ally suffers a critical hit, they all gain 15% turn meter. I feel like I'd rather gain the turn meter than gain the 5% protection up. All right, so then I've got this this bleh team. My Darth Revan is done. We took him up to Relic 5. He's work in progress. I think we got him, 313. So his speed is pretty pathetic. So just as an experiment, I'm putting this Darth Maul lead here. Sith allies gain stealth, 20% evasion, 20% turn meter, and stealth at the start of the encounter and when they evade. So that 313 will then turn into 364, 374, 374. So the Darth Revan will be really fast. Bastila, of course, still gear 12, or gear 11, so she'll get sped up as well. She's 214. She's really sad speed. So yeah, I kind of have to put it under the Maul lead to even have a chance for these characters to go off. But we'll try that on defense and see if we can make it work. CLS team. I think that goes on defense just because it's it's a hard team. It requires something to beat. Mon Mothma with K2SO, 3PO, and Chewie. Again, it's meant to be a timeout team. Just, outlast the other team. Get the fourth character going on over there, and just there's this interaction where if you don't get it under control, this team is a lot more devastating than you think. So K2SO will taunt. He has 97.6% chance to counter as long as he's not debuffed. We've got him built for tenacity. Mon Mothma will share tenacity, so his tenacity is going to be really high. It's going to be hard to debuff him. So he will counterattack. Every time he counterattacks, 3PO and Chewie take a shot. So if you can't get him dazed or stunned, which is pretty hard to do, every time you attack into him, he attacks, 3PO and Chewie attack. He gets taunt back. You do damage to him, he loses taunt, counterattacks, they attack, gets taunt back. It's surprisingly annoying little mechanic, and it does catch people off guard. So this is, if you've got enough to put together like the CLS team with Han and Chewie, then you can do this. A lot of people I know, they put Wedge with their Han and Chewie, and then they do CLS and 3PO and Chewie with another character. But since I've got this crazy K2SO, I like this little team, like it for defense. Grievous, we've got the B1 Grievous, and I just put the B2 in here. Not a great team. My Magna Guard's not built up on this account, neither is the B2, so I kind of don't have either good version of the team. Thought about putting Newt in here, but I think, again, we'll just put it on defense just to steal banners. Don't expect it to get a win. Iden Versio. We are going to put Iden on defense with Stark. Put Shore Trooper there. I'll be working on Shore Trooper. He's one of the next characters that I plan to build. So once he gets some relic levels on him, then this Iden team might be something you have to deal with. Ideally, I think if you had all the troopers, you would go something like Iden, Range, and Shore, or Iden, Stark, and Snow. I think those combos, Stark and Snow, or Range and Shore, would, for their own reasons, be very difficult. Stark and Snow because of all the area effect, and Range and Shore because of the synergy and the assists. It'd be a hard team to make the damage stick. All right, catch up on chat over here. Yeah, it's not really great. I only used it for that one clone assault battle. Whose Omicron is better between Zam and Qui-Gon Jinn? So, generically, Qui-Gon Jinn's Omicron gives bonuses based on a character's speed. And for that reason, you can put Qui-Gon Omicron on a reasonably low-level Qui-Gon and put just a bunch of garbage Jedi in there with them, and they still get massive bonuses. Because even a garbage Jedi can easily have 250 speed. Qui-Gon gives him 30 more speed, so it's easy to have 250 speed, and that gets you 7,500 additional offense. So for lower level characters, generically, Qui-Gon's going to be much better. Zam's Omicron shares her stats. So to get full advantage of Zam, you need her to be relicked. So that's the difference. Zam's Omicron, I would say, is, at the end of the day, I think Qui-Gon's is still better. So I would put Qui-Gon first, let's say in all cases. But at low character gear tiers, Zam is much worse, and Qui-Gon is much better. That's my opinion. David is walking the dog. All right, then we got bounty hunters, and I debated on how to, not bounty hunters, but Bad Batch. I had a big debate on how to divide these up, and at the end of the day, I put Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega together. Some synergy. At least Hunter and Omega can hide behind Wrecker and, do some stuff. And then I put Tech and Echo with Padme. Padme's kind of lost in my account right now because, like, Qui-Gon Jinn is getting Anakin and Kenobi, and, Ahsoka goes with other teams for Jedi. So Padme keeps getting left out, keeps stealing all her buddies. So I figure I put Echo and Tech here. Kind of a control team, right? We do the combo at the start of the game that locks everybody down and stuns them, and then just kick them and recover and timeout. And that's why I put it on defense again, because I don't think it's going to be that great of an offensive team. But on defense, if they don't want to just start the game stunned, they got to get past 370 speed on the Echo. So that I'm just trying to make a team, again, put it on defense, make the opponent beat it. Qui-Gon we put with Jedi Knight Anakin and Kenobi, again, just to try to make this team as challenging as possible. Built this team with Kylo Unmasked, Hux, and Sith Trooper. That leaves us SLKR on offense. And in 3v3, I found that I typically end up running SLKR together with Daka and Zombie. It's a nice little 3-character combo. It has a chance against some things like Kenobi that otherwise don't give you much of a chance. So with the Night Sisters in with SLKR, that frees up, like, let's say the 3 best First Order to be on the same team. So that team, again, it's beatable, but you got to bring in some serious firepower to cut through this Kylo. Triumvirate will do it. There's a lot of teams that'll do it, but you got to bring them in. Hux messes with your turn meter. Kylo's thick. He does tons of damage. So you got to bring something. We got the Newt at Relic 7. His mods are okay. He's not fantastic. 298. I would like to have him, like 315, 320 speed if I could, but I just don't have enough speed mods to go around. But up around 300 is still okay. And you guys know the cha-cha here, right? So Count Dooku does his Master of Makashi skill, puts everybody under stealth, all non-tank separatists. So him, Newt, and the Brute Alpha are all under stealth. The Brute sits out there tanking, and then by the time you kill the Brute Alpha summons another one back. Dooku has counterattack, so if you try to come in here with area effect, he's going to be counterattacking your face off. And then Newt, the idea is just, to trigger some stuns from Dooku. And if you get extortion onto a character, and then that character is stunned, then it's pretty fantastic, right? Because the extortion starts to spread, and then the opponent really has a hard time keeping up with all the extortion. So the stun, the extortion, and then the stealth from Dooku is nice. This team also works a little bit differently if you put in like Dooku, or let's say you put in Newt Gunray, and you put in a tank like Magna Guard, and then for the third character you put in like the slowest Jango Fett in the world, so that he just stays invulnerable forever. And that team can be real annoying for opponents to deal with, because they're going to want to bring in a team that generates turn meter or takes away turn meter or something like that. And once you do that with Jango in the mix, he never takes a turn, and he's invulnerable till the end of the game. So you can kind of put people on lockdown with that team. It's just a timeout team. And of course, then they just come in and clean up Jango. It's no big deal. But, if you can force a loss out of them, That's pretty fantastic. But this team is just to try to, again, it's beatable, but the opponent has to bring some pretty good synergy. Here's my Fin Po team. Of course, that's one of my favorite defenses. We got a little leftover resistance here. We got some the leftovers from the Mon Mothma team. Here's the Zam team. I basically just did Django and Boba and Zam, with the idea of just go fast and hit as hard as possible and try to take out a character. Either one of these guys with their rockets with Zam is really a lot of damage. So the hope is that one of those guys will go off and kill somebody. Mando team with Bosk, Grief Karga, Mando. It's good synergy. We're just trying to use Bosk's leadership, get a lot of assists, get the Mando onto his Annihilate. This team is a big threat. You got to bring something to deal with Bosk, but if you don't control Mando, then he just evaporates one of your characters. So it's not a hard team to beat, but if you try to come in weak, you might lose a character, lose a bunch of banners. Garbage Bounty Hunter team, Dash Rendar team. I don't even know if I'll place, just down to the garbage here. Night Sisters haven't been developed on this account. So with that in mind, for the defenses, what I ended up with, the strategy that I'm using is basically to build the front wall, all the slots in the front wall, to be pretty heavy duty, right? And the idea is we want to run them out of teams on the front wall and still have good teams on the back wall. So if you get through the front, then you got Lord Vader, Iden, Mon Mothma, and a couple garbage teams, right? We threw off 2 teams back here, but we've got 3 serious teams on the back wall. And then in order to make those teams good, we have to commit a bunch of good defenses in front. So we got Rey, Zam, CLS, Qui-Gon, Fin Po. These teams are all fast. Like this team is fast, this team is fast. CLS shoots first. Zam, it's all teams that if you want to go first, you got to have some serious speed. Then over here we put the Kylo team, the Newt team, this Darth Revan team, the Padme team, and then the clones. And we ended up saving the other Bad Batch team. We don't even have them on defense, so be able to use them on offense. And then for ships, we went with 2 good fleets with the Negotiator and the Executor, and then threw off the 3rd fleet and just put the Raddus down here. I was putting the Empire fleet here, but I think I want to start taking the Empire fleet on offense so that I have some flexibility with that TIE fighter, potentially putting that with the Malevolence if I need to beat an Executor, some stuff like that. Hey DL, I'm kind of late. What did I miss? Not much. Well, everything. You've missed everything. All right, hey, it's 7:42. Time's been flying by, but we should have the giveaway. Ends at 7:58. Okay, we've got 9 minutes. 9 minutes left until the giveaway goes off. If you haven't signed up in Discord, hop over there in Discord. You got 9 minutes left to throw your name in the hat to win those free gifts. We're using Shakti. I haven't seen her so far. So that's the thing. Everything else that you haven't seen is going on defense. So Jedi Knight Revan, SLKR, the regular trooper team that's not Iden, just like a bunch of the stuff that I normally use on offense, right? It's all in the offense pool. Sith Eternal Emperor is going on offense. So basically, if we go in here and we try to create a new squad, then because we're on unique only, you can see all the stuff that's left. So we got Gas and, ARC Trooper and Ahsoka, for example, go with him. We've got C, SLKR, the Troopers, Vader, the Wampa, Revan, Nest, the JTR team, the Lucifer team, Mara Jade under Emperor Palpatine potentially, Traya, the Triumvirate. We've got a random C-3PO. He'd probably go with Rey. I mean, if I end up with this, yeah, maybe Rey. No, we probably want R2. We'll probably have Rey, BB-8, and R2. Yeah, maybe I could make better use of C-3PO somewhere. We'll see. And then the Night Sisters, of course, they're going to go with SLKR. I built up my DACA a little bit. We got her to Relic 7. That puts her on 140,000 health. It's pretty good. It's okay. It's okay for Relic 6, I guess. Did I say Relic 7? Relic 6. Okay, and then we've got, what else do we have? Just some other leftovers, some Geo stuff. So, if it's too much defense, then, you know, between rounds I'll start filtering some of the stuff off of defense and back onto offense. But we're really relying on some of these, like, solo characters and smaller teams and, you know, trying to beat teams with these GLs conveniently and spreading out our characters as much as we can. So, I mean, between Wampa, Nest, and Kylo Ren old school, that should be 3 battles. You know, Skywalker and the 2 GLs, so that's 6 battles. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Triumvirate. 13 with the leftovers. 14, 15. So I have 15 relict offensive teams that should be able to get a win against something. So we'll see how it all works out. And yeah, and I may run out of offense, but I don't care. If my defense is good and the defense holds, then I can run out of offense, and I'm not offended by that. Gas 5s and Rex on defense. I'm looking to beat something with Gas and Arc Trooper, you know? Just a 2-man team or even a 1-man Gas solo. Just something like this on offense. You think that's better on defense or better on offense? I like putting the clones on defense and then putting him on offense. Trying to get a win with something like this. Just put a trooper in there so he can stand back up. I feel like just Gas and one other character beats a lot of stuff in 3v3, right? Because it's hard to do enough damage to Gas to sit him down and then do enough damage to the clone before he stands back up, and then you still got to deal with Gas. So I feel like he's a monster in 3v3, right? So you're saying maybe put him on defense. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Got to try new things, right? Then for the Obtisio account, I'll go over this. I still haven't done the Obtisio update for the week. I'm kind of behind, guys. Apologize for that. But we can take a look at this. Let's see. Let's go to the 3v3s on the Obtisio account. So for like a real low-level account where it's just starting to get set up, basically for newer accounts, look at your leadership skills and try to build teams around your best leadership skills. So Qui-Gon obviously gets a team. Palpatine gets a team. Vader in there. And I don't have enough good stuff to separate out Palpatine and Vader into 2 teams, so they just get 1 team. Geos, Soldier and Spy are probably the best. Just Brood Alpha, Soldier, and Spy. Clones, again, same thing. Rex 5's Echo. Mon Mothma, Biggs and Wedge with her on this account. Troopers, Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper. The Kylo team, I put Han Solo on the Kylo team, and that's just, the threat of the whole shoot first and lock somebody down and then tank through them with crew. Fin Poe, I'll be working on this team through the whole GAC, so right now, as it stands, that's a pretty sad and weak team. But yeah, by the end of the 3v3, I expect this team to be decent gear level. I want them anyway for 5v5. They're my 3rd tier. Remember, I'm working on clones first for Relic stuff. The troopers are my 2nd priority. And then we're looking to invest in the Padme team and the Fin Poe team. So in 3v3, I feel like they're really fantastic. These guys get me so many holds on the main account in 3v3. I've really come to appreciate them. Night Sisters, we got a Padme team down here with just leftover 501st stuff, or leftover clone, whatever, Galactic Republic. Put Bastila, Shakti, and Grandmaster Yoda in a team. Shakti, a lot of synergy with any team with the assists and the recovery. Yoda's annoying. Bastila gives him extra protection. Trooper team under Gideon. This is awful, right? Gideon's lead does absolutely nothing in 3v3. It's more or less blank. And then, some Phoenix down here. So that's how I divided the teams up over here. That's probably... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And how many total 3v3 teams do I need at Bronzium? I haven't set the defenses up yet here. 2, 4, 7. So 14. So I've got 14 out of 15 teams. I've got 15 teams identified and 14 places to fill. So there's going to be some pretty awful defenses. But yeah, that's what we got to do, right? So what? Probably set up the same kind of thing that we set up on the other side. And the question is, again, do we want defense or do we want to save stuff on offense? And I think for me, throw down the Geos in this zone. And throw the crew down here. Do we throw the crew down here? Yeah, I think so. Okay. And then we're going to put 2 challenging teams here. And the idea is make them work for the whole front zone. So I will probably put these guys on defense. And it's about the best defense that I can put together on this account. So we'll do that. And let's see. We'll put the Separatists up front there for now. Probably swap that out later if we do get the Fin Poe developed a little bit. Then in the back wall, just got to throw garbage. So we need something on offense. We've got Vader. We've got Qui-Gon as good offensive teams. We've got Mon Mothma. We're going to keep that on offense because that has the potential to be pretty good. The Fin Poe is meant to be a defensive team, so we'll put that back here. We'll put... let's see what else we got here. We're basically putting garbage on the back wall, right? basically just putting garbage on the back wall. I think I'll take the Padme team on offense, right? And put these awful troopers back here. The problem is, Gideon is good, right? Gideon's a pretty flexible character. I don't want to give up a decent team with some flexibility. So what we're going to do, we'll put the Jedi back here. We'll put one decent team back here. We'll put Night Sisters, garbage, and then we'll put Jedi back here. And that'll be like, oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof. We've got to have a 7th winning team on offense, right? If we put these Jedi, we may not have 7 winning teams on offense. So what we'll probably do, we'll probably throw the Phoenix back here. And then if I fight an opponent where I feel like I have to defend the back zone, I'll come back here. I'll swap out the Night Sisters for the Jedi or another good defense just to have a good defense on the back wall. Then in fleets, we'll put our less good fleet on defense. This. Put Anakin as the first reinforcement. Ahsoka. BTLB and then Ahsoka. Okay. So we'll put this on defense. And more or less, we're just going to hope that the opponent doesn't see it. Try to hold the front zone. So that gives us 2 challenging teams up here. Both of them are very much beatable. They're not hard teams to beat. But, again, got to take something. Then down here, we have one easy team and basically our best defense. And if that doesn't hold, then, we just got garbage on the back wall that'll fold like paper. That's about the best we can do. So if they clear the bottom zone and don't get to the top and don't get to ships, that's fine by me. As long as we can cut it down to one lane or the other, should have a chance to get a lot of wins. They updated Gideon lead for 3v3. They updated Gideon lead for 3v3. I looked at his lead the other day and I saw that it wasn't the same garbage as it was before, but... Oh, maybe that's why I wasn't impressed. Because I've only got it on level 1. Alright, what does this look like if we've got it like level 7? Max health, protection, and Imperial Trooper allies have 15% offense. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, and then the Zeta version of that says what? In 3v3, if all allies are Imperial Troopers and he has any combination that includes no more than 1 tank, 2 attackers, or 1 additional support, then, when an enemy with a leader tag uses an ability, they gain stacking offense until... What? Whenever an enemy with a leader tag takes a turn, Gideon gains a stack of it. So if you have the Zeta on this guy, on his lead, then you actually want other leaders in his team. So you would want Gideon, Piet, and that's it. You don't want Veers. I mean, you wouldn't want to put Gideon in the lead and then throw away your Veers. Well, basically, you would just want to put like Gideon, Piet, Dark, and then Veers can still function well with a bunch of other different things. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Not so much for this account, but maybe something I need to go look at on my main account. Dividing up my troopers. But I like the idea of Iden getting a decent team over there, so yeah. No, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, we got Shakti done to 7 stars and Moff Gideon done to 7 stars at the end of this week. So that's pretty fantastic. Alrighty, guys, let's go over and check. Congratulations. We've got Velkior, Sanctus, Garuka, and Kith Canem that have won the giveaways. Velkior, Sanctus, Garuka, and Kith Canem. Congrats, guys. I'll be getting in touch with you, contacting you, find out how you want to get your gift cards paid out. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap the stream up there. We've been chatting for a while about various stuff. Conquest, Datacrons, 3v3, all the good stuff going on. That's going to do it for my chill stream for tonight. I just wanted to check in with all you guys and say hi and hang out for a little bit. Always fun. When enemy leader tag takes a turn. Gideon would be great if Iden Versio didn't also exist. I was using Gideon lead and then Iden happened. Moral of the story is we need more troopers. I could get behind that. I could get behind some more troopers. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming and hanging out with me in the chill stream. I appreciate you guys. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next Holocron.